I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is, of course, Pokémon number 001, the first starter in the first generation, the first in the Pokédex, the first in many of our hearts. As a kid in the West, Bulbasaur and his evolutions always felt like the other one, next to the eternal Squirtle versus Charmander debate. No doubt this was because we got red and blue versions but not green, and also because Charizard was so unbelievably popular that choosing the Pokémon who was weak to fire made no sense. You either chose Charizard, Mr. Popular, or Blastoise, because it was super effective against Charizard. That's all completely unfair, of course, because Bulbasaur is a great Pokémon. Super effective against the first couple of gyms in the original games, levels up and evolves quickly, and Masuda has even gone on record to say Bulbasaur is his favourite of the original starters. What is a Bulbasaur? They're a bit of a weird one, a little lizard dinosaur frog thing with a plant on the back. Most of the Pokédex entries just talk about the seed being planted on their back when they're born, which makes it this whole symbiotic relationship thing. The Japanese name, Fushigidani, just means strange bulb. The two evolutions just mean strange plant and strange flower, so none of them give a clue as to what the animal part of Bulbasaur is. The translated name has to be taken with a pinch of salt, obviously, but the suffix saur, used on words like dinosaur, means lizard, and Bulbasaur is more like a lizard than an actual dinosaur. In fact, to me, it mostly resembles the Dimetrodon. If, like me, you were a kid who liked playing with big buckets of toy dinosaurs, you will have encountered a Dimetrodon. It's a big squat lizard with a large fin on the back. Dimetrodon is often mistaken for a dinosaur, or as a contemporary of them, but it became extinct about 40 million years before the first appearance of dinosaurs. Dimetrodon is one of the mammal-like reptiles, from around the time mammals first evolved, so it's quite important in the evolution of us. This makes sense for a series obsessed with evolution, and for a grass starter especially. As the series goes on, subsequent grass starters represent species that appear later and later in real-life biology, working through the dinosaurs and lizards, all the way up to mammals and birds. Back to the Dimetrodon though. Take off the spine, give it a plant, and there you go, instant Bulbasaur. Just like his fellow starters, Bulbasaur had a big role in the anime. Ash's Bulbasaur is shown as loving and kind, famously using its lullaby to put Togepi to sleep in the first movie.
This is the first known recording of Bulbasaur's Bulbabash.
He stayed with Ash for a long time, just quietly being loyal and cool. Of course, none of us get to stay children forever. Just as old age and the grave awaits you and me, so Ivysaur and Venusaur await Bulbasaur. The evolutionary tree, pun intended, is fairly straightforward. The lizard part grows, while the plant on the back flowers and then grows into a tree. Ivysaur is a pretty by-the-numbers middle evolution. Perhaps the most notable thing about Ivysaur is that it's playable in Smash Bros. Brawl and Ultimate. Makes a certain cynical sense. Charizard's inclusion was inevitable. That leaves a first stage and a middle stage evolution, and they're going to want Squirtle over Wartortle. Hence, you get Ivysaur by default. Later, Ivysaur evolves into Venusaur. Venusaur was a cover star on the original Pokémon Green, which never left Japan, and finally worldwide with Pokémon Leaf Green on the Game Boy Advance. It's a big, grumpy-looking lizard with a whole tree growing out the back. It's kind of goofy, and I can understand why kids don't find it as inherently cool as the big Wyvern Charizard or Blastoise with its cannons. On the other hand, Venusaur is a big lovable lump. Having a Venusaur to hang around with, to ride on it, or to sit under its shade would be great. Finally, in Generation 6, the original starters could be obtained in-game again, and this time they had Mega Evolutions. While the expansions to Charizard and Blastoise were pretty straightforward, Charizard is more like a dragon and Blastoise has a bigger cannon, Venusaur had kind of already reached the logical endpoint of the design. The lizard was an adult and the bulb had become a tree. The Mega Evolution throws some flowers here and vines and extra trees in there, but it does feel a bit like a mess. In the end, your heart has to go out to Bulbasaur and Family, the original starters, one of the original box monsters, and perennially overshadowed by the other two starters. Music for Luke Loves Pokémon was created by Jonathan Croney. Artwork for the show is by Katie Groves. If you're interested and enjoy the show, please do like and subscribe on YouTube, rate and review on iTunes, and share this podcast with your friends. These early days are really key for finding an audience, and I want to be in touch with as many Pokémon fans as possible. If you have anything to say about the next two Pokémon, Charmander and Squirtle, or if there's any other Pokémon you love, let me know all about it. I'm on Twitter and Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN, and you can email the show at lukelovespkmn@gmail.com. I love Bulbasaur, and remember, I love you too.